Hey horror fans! Today I'm diving deep into the chilling world of horror films to figure out what really makes them so scary and successful. Horror films tap into our deepest fears, pushing us to the edge of our seats. They're more than just entertainment. They reflect our collective psyche and confront our darkest emotions. Horror movies often explore complex themes and challenge our perceptions of the world. Take the iconic shower scene in Psycho. It's a masterclass in suspense, misdirection, and emotional manipulation. Despite the fear they evoke, horror films provide a safe space for us to process and confront our emotions. They use suspense and shock to create uncertainty, leaving us wondering what's going to happen next. By dismissing them as entertainment, we overlook their power to challenge assumptions and spark crucial conversations. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to share your favorite horror films in the comments below. And if you want to learn more about the evolution of horror cinema, be sure to check out my next video. Horror films have a unique way of bringing people together, creating a communal experience that can be both terrifying and exhilarating. So grab some popcorn, turn off the lights, and dive into the world of horror. You might just discover something new about yourself in the process. Now let's dive deeper into the psychological aspects of horror films. How do they manipulate our minds to create fear? We'll explore the techniques used by filmmakers to keep us on the edge of our seats. One of the most powerful tools in a horror filmmaker's arsenal is the use of sound. Think about it, the eerie creaking of a door, the sudden burst of a high-pitched violin, or the unsettling silence before a jump scare. Sound can create a sense of unease and anticipation, making us hyper-aware and on edge. It's not just about what we see, but what we hear that can truly terrify us. Another key technique is the manipulation of lighting and shadows. Horror films often play with light and darkness to create a sense of mystery and fear. Shadows can hide threats, making our imagination run wild with possibilities. The use of low lighting and dark environments can make us feel vulnerable and uncertain, heightening our fear. Filmmakers also use camera angles and movements to create tension. Close-up shots can make us feel trapped and claustrophobic, while shaky cam movements can simulate the feeling of disorientation and panic. Dutch angles, where the camera is tilted, can make scenes feel off-balance and unsettling. These visual techniques work together to create a sense of unease and tension. Let's not forget about the power of pacing and timing. The buildup of suspense, the sudden release of tension, and the unexpected twists all play a role in keeping us on the edge of our seats. Filmmakers know how to manipulate the rhythm of a scene to create maximum impact. Slow, drawn-out scenes can create a sense of dread, while quick, sudden movements can startle us and keep our adrenaline pumping. Psychological horror also taps into our deepest fears and anxieties. Films like The Babadook and Hereditary explore themes of grief, loss, and family dynamics, using these emotional triggers to create a sense of horror that lingers long after the credits roll. By focusing on the psychological aspects of fear, these films create a deeper, more profound sense of unease. In conclusion, horror films are masterful at manipulating our minds to create fear. Through the use of sound, lighting, camera techniques, pacing, and psychological themes, filmmakers can tap into our deepest anxieties and keep us on the edge of our seats. So the next time you watch a horror film, pay attention to these techniques and see how they work to create that spine-chilling experience. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the world of horror cinema. And as always, share your thoughts and favorite psychological horror films in the comments below. Stay spooky, everyone. Let's explore the evolution of horror films over the decades. From the silent era to modern-day horror, the genre has transformed and adapted to societal changes. It began with the silent era of the 1920s. Films like Nosferatu set the stage for horror. Early films relied on visual storytelling and dramatic lighting. The 1930s and 1940s saw the rise of universal monsters. Characters like Dracula and Frankenstein became iconic. These films introduced the supernatural and monstrous. The 1950s brought sci-fi horror, reflecting atomic age anxieties. Films like The Thing from Another World explored paranoia. The 1960s and 1970s took a darker psychological turn. Films like Psycho delved into the human psyche. The slasher genre rose with films like Halloween. The 1980s and 1990s saw franchise horror rise. Characters like Freddy Krueger became household names. These films combined horror with dark humor. The 2000s brought found footage films like The Blair Witch Project. Films like Get Out explore social themes. Horror films reflect societal fears and continue to evolve. Thanks for joining us on this journey through horror films. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into horror cinema. Share your thoughts and favorite horror films in the comments below. Stay spooky, everyone. Now that we've journeyed through the history of horror films, let's delve into another crucial element that makes these movies so terrifying: the role of sound and music. Sound is an invisible force that can manipulate our emotions and heighten our sense of fear. It is often the unsung hero of horror cinema, creating an atmosphere of dread and unease long before any visual scare appears on screen. Think about the iconic shower scene in Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. Would it be as terrifying without Bernard Herrmann's screeching violins? Probably not. The music amplifies the horror, making our hearts race and our senses tingle. Composers use a variety of techniques to create these spine-chilling scores. Dissonant chords, sudden crescendos, and eerie, repetitive motifs all work together to unsettle the audience. These elements tap into our primal fears, triggering a fight-or-flight response. But it's not just the music. Ambient sounds like the creaking of a floorboard or the distant howl of wind play a crucial role in building tension. These subtle audio cues create a sense of realism, drawing us deeper into the world of the film. In modern horror, sound design has become even more sophisticated. Films like A Quiet Place and Hereditary use silence as a tool, making us hyper-aware of every tiny noise. This clever use of sound, or the lack thereof, creates an almost unbearable tension, keeping us on the edge of our seats. Even the absence of sound can be terrifying. The sudden drop to silence can signal that something terrible is about to happen, making our anticipation skyrocket. So, the next time you're watching a horror film, pay close attention to the sound and music. Notice how they manipulate your emotions and enhance the overall experience. Thanks for joining us on this exploration of the haunting soundscapes of horror. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the world of horror cinema. And as always, share your thoughts and favorite horror film scores in the comments below. Stay spooky, everyone. Finally, we'll explore the impact of horror films on popular culture. From Halloween costumes to horror-themed video games, the influence of horror films extends far beyond the cinema. Horror movies have a way of embedding themselves into our collective consciousness. Think about iconic characters like Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees, and Michael Myers. These figures have become cultural icons, instantly recognizable even to those who haven't seen the films. They appear on everything from t-shirts to action figures, and their influence is felt in countless Halloween costumes each year. But the impact of horror films doesn't stop at costumes and memorabilia. Horror has seeped into other forms of entertainment, such as video games, TV shows, and even literature. Games like Resident Evil and Silent Hill have taken the terrifying elements of horror cinema and turned them into interactive experiences, allowing players to immerse themselves in nightmarish worlds. Television has also embraced the horror genre, with series like American Horror Story and The Haunting of Hill House captivating audiences and pushing the boundaries of what can be done on the small screen. These shows draw heavily from the tropes and techniques of horror cinema, proving that the genre's influence is far-reaching. Even in literature, horror films have left their mark. Many horror movies are adaptations of novels or short stories, and the success of these films often leads to a renewed interest in the original works. Authors like Stephen King have seen their stories adapted into numerous films and series, further cementing the symbiotic relationship between horror literature and cinema. Moreover, horror films often reflect societal fears and anxieties, serving as a mirror to our collective psyche. They tackle issues such as isolation, the unknown, and the fragility of the human mind, making them relevant across generations. This cultural relevance ensures that horror films continue to resonate with audiences, influencing not just entertainment, but also our understanding of fear itself. So, the next time you see a Halloween costume or play a horror-themed video game, remember the profound impact that horror films have had on popular culture. These movies do more than just scare us, they shape our fears, our fantasies, and our imaginations. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the world of horror cinema. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more intriguing insights into the realm of film. And as always, share your favorite horror-themed cultural moments in the comments below. Stay spooky, everyone.